Hello everyone, my name is Vincent. Today I'm going to talk about my feeling about the coding challenge I had yesterday. It was scary, but it was a good experience. It was scary to do something in front of 30 people, and it was even more scary. It was even scarier when I made mistakes in front of people, and I I know that I will feel embarrassed when I make a mistake in front of people. I know that actually people wouldn't care that much, although I'm sure uh, not everyone is a good person. There would be some um, negative people who would like to laugh at people who make mistakes. Maybe this is the reason that I would feel embarrassed when when I make a mistake in front of people. Actually, I remember I watched a video about the CEO of Netlify during a Sudoku challenge live, and so when he did the challenge, of course, the challenge he did was much more complex, much more difficult, but he has more experience than me. He is the CEO, and he had a lot of experience talking in front of people, sharing code in front of people. But still, when I saw him making mistakes, I would feel nervous. But the difference is he would remain calm, and so he could spot the mistake very soon. Unlike me, I would panic and got scared and got stunned, and I didn't know what to do. So after coming back home, I have a deep self-reflection. So in future, if I can do another coding challenge, I would I think the most important thing is to remember that it is very normal to make mistakes. Actually, I knew that before the presentation, because I knew that there would be lots of pressure to do something in front of 30 people, and if you are doing good, you will be fine. But most of the time, it is very common that when you make mistakes, you will start panic. But I should better remember that what I should do if I make a mistake. So I should remember how to debug instead of getting stunned. So today I will do the Alphametics test again, but this time you may have noticed that my code editor, the font size has become bigger, because this time I'm not doing on my big screen. Instead, I'm doing on my MacBook. So I make the font size bigger, and hopefully I can spot the mistake if I have made some. So first I will have a class, and I will have a method, and it is a self method because we don't need to call an instance. And the solution is a hash, so we have a hash, and we have letters. I find I have a problem is every time I try to do a regular expression, for whatever reason, sometimes I would type backslash and then I realize I do it wrong. I'm not sure if this is because of muscle memory or what, but sometimes I did that and I didn't realize, especially if I get nervous, then maybe I would not know I have done something wrong. And this mistake I can easily figure out if I'm not being watched by 30 people. So I should better make myself less nervous when I make mistakes. So I got the letters, and then now I need to get the words. And yesterday I couldn't spot I missed this backslash. Maybe because the font size is too small that I couldn't see it. But now I can see it clearly. And actually, if I really couldn't figure out the mistake, I should better ask ChatGPT. So next time, if I really couldn't figure out, if I couldn't really spot the typo I have made, then I should just simply ask GPT. And now they give me the answer because I missed a backslash. So I think the most important thing that I learned from yesterday's experience is if I make a mistake, what backup plan I should have. So now I got it right now. So the next step, we need to assign digit to each letter using a recursive method called backtracking. So we need to get the letter from the letters array, and this will change the value of the array. Because we are assigning letter to the hash, so the letter will be the key and the digit will be the value. And because for this solution, for this problem, each digit can only be shared by one letter. It means that in the hash, the same digit can only be there once. Therefore, we will skip the digit if the hash include the digit. And because we are not skipping the digit, then we will assign the digit to the letter. And after we have assigned a digit to letter, we will assign another digit to another letter. And here we will have a recursive method. And the hash here and the array here has been updated by this line of code and also this one. And we will only return the hash when we have assigned all the letters a digit. And before we end the method, we should restore the values in the array. And also, after we have, so we will only return the result if we got the correct combination. But before that, let's test the current so we will return result and see if we can get something. And now we are getting close to the solution, but we will return it only when we got the correct combination. I still find it hard with font size that big. I couldn't see more lines. Then it may actually also difficult to spot any mistake. So we have a map function to transform the words into number. And now we got the number. Actually, I know that it is very normal to make typo, but for whatever reason, when it is in front of so many people, I find it hard to understand the mistake I had. Therefore, I must have I need to have more experience doing coding challenge in front of people. So yesterday I made a mistake here and I couldn't spot it. I missed a some method here, but I couldn't spot it. When I look at my code in small font size, I just couldn't spot it. But maybe even if it is in larger size, I probably couldn't spot it as well. That's why I need to be less nervous, and actually it's not easy. I think the best way to overcome nervousness is to do it more often, but it is not usual to do coding in front of people. And even if it's not about coding, rarely we will have a chance or any opportunity to do things in front of people. So here yesterday I made a mistake. So actually I have another way to debug it. If I really couldn't spot the mistake, actually I should instead of running the test, I should run the solution itself. So because I couldn't find out the problem, I can, for example, I know that the answer should be 910, therefore I should see if we can get the combination. And you can see we couldn't get a combination because there must be some mistake. But where is the mistake? But at least we know that we couldn't get to assigning a digit to the last letter. Therefore, if we look carefully, it should be here because we can get the numbers from the word. But the program just stopped here. And then it would be easier to spot the mistake. If we add some p or puts in the lines. Oh. So here, so we can see that it will stop here. And what's the reason? So we will stop here. And what's the reason? Oh, I see the reason. Because, let me see, IB. So here, if I still couldn't spot that I have missed a sum here, what can I tell from this P solution? So what is the best way to find out that I miss a sum here? Ah, oh, I see. Because I copied the puzzle wrong. That's why it is hard to do it in front of people. It took me a while to figure out that even if I'm doing it alone, it took me so much time to recognize that I have copied the variable wrong. And now we finally can come to here, and the reason why we couldn't get further is because we need to delete the letter, as I said yesterday, to delete the letter from the hash, because otherwise other letter cannot use that digit. So if we find out that is not a correct digit for that letter, we should immediately delete that letter from the hash so that other letters can use that digit. So for example, if now it is, because now it's 7, 8, 9, since 8 have already been used by a letter, so therefore I could not get 8. And now we can. And then we will find out that actually we have tests from 0, 1, 8 to the final combination 987, but still it says that there's no valid combination. So the answer is 910, and we have 910 here. So it means that the problem must be with the valid method. So therefore, if I put something here and then add a P here, then it will be easier for me to spot the mistake. And now, as I said yesterday, the reason why we have this as the answer is because even if we have only I as 1 and B as new, so 1 plus new, even if we have, now we have a mistake here, so we can check what's the problem. So you see only I is, the last one is I is 0. So actually here I mean 0 plus new equal to 0. That's why it is valid. The reason is because we should not return it if we haven't assigned digits to all the letters. And now we have got the answer. Now done. So the next one is about the first letter. And we got the first letter. Actually, we can try a more difficult one. So we got the first letters only, and the first letter should not be 0. Therefore, we can, because for backtracking, it incrementally build candidates, and it will abandon the candidate when it found it unfit to the solution. Therefore, we should skip the digit. We should next if digit is 0 and the letter is one of the first letter. And this is so easy to make mistakes because I haven't uncommented and add one more argument. So it is indeed very, very hard if I really do it again in front of people. Yes, I done. So the next one is to make the backtracking more efficient. We should first assign digit to the last letter, because if we couldn't get the last letter correct digit, it would be meaningless to assign digit to other letters. Therefore, we have a priority here. Oh, for the first letter, we just need to have the unique one. And we should put the letter for the answer, the last letter of the answer at the back first, because at the moment we should assign so we should assign digit to the last letters first, and then to the last letter of the answer, and then the last is to assign digit to all other letters. So we need to rearrange the order of the letters in the array. So send more money means Y should be at the back. Now Y is at the back. So we have these letters that need to be put to the back. And now we have the last letter first, and then the last letter of the answer and the other letters. And now it's due to set one more condition. So we will now set one more condition. So at the time when we assign a digit to the last letter of the answer, we have already assigned digit to the last letter on the left hand side. Therefore, we can test if the sum of the last letter if the last digit of the sum of the last letters equal to the digit of the last letter of the answer. So we will need to get the sum of the last letter. So we will need to use a map. And we will need to get the last digit. So unless the digit for the last letter of the answer equal to the last digit, otherwise we will not run this recursive method. Because this is not a suitable candidate, so we will remove it from the hash. And then next. Okay, I have some problem here. It is really so difficult to keep calm in front of people when you make mistakes. Last letters, map, character, sum. Okay, I know the reason. Because I couldn't arrange the order of the letters properly. No. D, E, D-E-Y, E-D-Y. Yeah, so I have arranged the orders properly. Therefore, I need to do this again because I couldn't figure out. So I should keep calm and debug it calmly. I'm not going to cut this video because previously when I knew that I made mistake, I would just cut the video and then debug it by myself because I would get less nervous. But now being recorded, although it's not as nervous as doing it in front of 30 people, but I will still be nervous because I know that I will upload this video on my YouTube channel. And actually I still don't like being seen as a person who would make mistakes. I would still feel embarrassed when people catch me making mistakes. So last letter is Y, which is correct, and what I can do is first I know D is 7 and E is 5, so Y must be 2. So what I can do here is So here, so I will p the hash if digit is 2. So I need to get d is 7, e is 5. d7, e is 5. So I got the correct hash. Therefore, so I will get d is 7, e is 5. d is 7, e is 5. d is 7, e is 5. And as you see, we got the last digit wrong here, so it made a mistake here. Let's see if I have a sum. D is 7. No, D is 7, E is 5. Oh, now I understand why. Now it is very easy to see the reason. Therefore, you must not be nervous when you try to solve problems. I know it's hard to overcome it when this is in front of people. Now I know the reason why I got a mistake. Can you tell why? The reason is because for the last letters, when I sum it up, I include so the last letter where I include the right hand side here. Now it is very easy to spot the mistake. So I need to exclude the right hand side, and now I will get the correct answer. Therefore, I think the most important thing to solve any coding challenge is you should never get nervous, which is actually quite hard. I think it's more about your psychological well-being than about how good you can code. Let's see if we can get the correct answer. It seems I still couldn't get the correct answer, but at least I am now one step closer. Send money. Therefore, we will try it. Oh, because I forgot that I should add a percentage and 10. And now we can get the correct answer. Now as you can see, we got the correct answer. I can tell you, coding in front of people is really difficult. It's not about how good you can code. This is about how you can overcome nervousness. And now we can test. Oh, sorry. And as you can see, it passed all the tests and it took 15 seconds to do it. Thank you for watching this video. Today I have shared my experience of doing coding challenge in front of people. This is really hard, but in future I will try to make video without stopping it, because in the past when I make mistakes, when I couldn't figure out the bug in a second or in 5 seconds, then I will feel embarrassed, and then I just stop the video and reshoot it again. But in future, even if I got stuck for example for an hour, although I never had that problem that I would get stuck for an hour, but even if I get stuck for an hour, I will not stop the video, and hopefully it can overcome my nervousness. Thank you for watching this video. Oh yes, I remember JP yesterday said that there is a survey says 70% of Americans scare public speaking more than deaf. I don't know if this is true or not, but I guess so, because for myself actually I scare deaf more than public speaking, even though I'm not good at public speaking, but I would take the opportunities whenever I can. For example, when I graduated from the university, I was the public speaker, the graduate speaker, even though I knew that my spoken English was not that good. I'm not a fluent English speaker, and actually even in my mother tongue I'm not that fluent as well. I know this is my disadvantage, but I will still grab the opportunity to be the graduate speaker, because I know that I will got experience from it. Thank you for watching this video. I will see you next time. Bye bye.